I have to look at the entire person because the business is just one piece of it.
Mhm.
I don't always have real good luck in getting them to, but I try. But again, I think it's like there was a workshop that I was involved in the 80s, which really dates me, but it was with Judge Ziegler, Zig Ziglar's brother. And he said, if you work 40%, 40 hours a week, you will be, well, this is if you're employed, but he said you will be in the top 10% of your company. If you work 60 hours a week, you'll be in the top 1%. But if you work 70 hours a week, you are an FOOL. And I thought, a fool.
Okay.
And I think that pertains to businesses too. What are we doing? Why are we needing to work 70 hours a week? Can't we fix that? I mean, and to me, it's about what it does to us, not only physically, but mentally. And to make really smart strategic decisions, you've got to be sharp. You can't be exhausted.
Right.
So
That's so true. And even that other part, that personal part too, you can't really run family when you're exhausted either. I think that's part of it too. If you're not present for, those times when your children are growing up or, other things like that, it can create problems. And it's such a different way because I remember my parents worked all the time and never got to games. When I started my first business, that was my goal. I never missed a child's game. I worked it all out. And sometimes it was a bit stressful, but I think my children would tell you that they feel very privileged because there were so many other kids that didn't have parents that showed up for them.
Well, and I think we need role models of women like yourself who have done it successfully. And there's another friend of mine who owns a very successful business on the East Coast who never worked past 3 o'clock because her kids were coming home. And I think we need to talk about that more. We see, not to be disrespectful of the men that are business owners, but their lifestyle is generally, I shouldn't say completely, but it's generally different than ours. In terms of what is required. And so we need more women business owners to speak up about how they are successfully managing all of it. The other thing I want to say about work-life balance, I think that's kind of a really difficult thing for people too, because the balance kind of gives the indication that we spend 20 hours here and 20 hours there. And I recently heard a phrase that I thought makes a lot more sense. It's calling it work-life satisfaction.
I like that.
Are we satisfied with our work and what we're doing?